This episode of Profiles in Risk is brought to you by InsurTech Connect Las Vegas. The legendary ITC is coming back to Vegas October 14 to 16 at the Mandalay Bay Casino. ITC is the largest InsurTech conference in the world by a long shot and the absolute cannot miss event of the year. We never miss it, neither should you. Register today using our discount code INSNerd200. Again, that's INSNerd200 and see you in Vegas, baby. And when you're there, look for me. I'm the guy with the red top hat and ask me for a magic trick. Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, fresh back from my kind of surprise trip to Spain. We accomplished the goal and came back early. That's a whole story on its own, but I called it Indiana Jonesing through Spain because we were literally there searching for a 160-year-old piece of paper that might or might not exist. And we did find it. And we found it by stalking a priest, and found the piece of paper, and then changed our flights and returned home last night. So it was kind of a crazy adventure.
That's amazing.
It at some point I'll tell the whole story, but basically, searching for my great grandfather's baptismal certificate from the 1860s. And the search was like decades long, intensive for the last like 5 or 6 months. And then I got involved a couple of months ago and when basically the family said somebody's got to go in person, and it was easier for me to go from Atlanta, Georgia, especially with how much I travel. So yeah. So anyway.
And you just got back last night?
Yeah, we found it on Saturday morning, and immediately changed our flights, drove 200 miles back to Madrid, flew back on Sunday morning, landed in Atlanta yesterday at about 2 p.m. And it's not, we've been back for about 24 hours.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a crazy adventure. So today with me Courtney and Michael Weaver, who are a couple and president and CEO respectively, at the Weaver Sales Academy. So first of all, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
It's so good. We actually were just in Spain 2 weeks ago.
Really?
So,
what part of Spain?
So we were in between Madrid and Valladolid. So we were like kind of 2 hours north of Madrid.
Oh, okay, so that's not far from where we were. We landed in Madrid. And then basically the search was in the province of León.
Yeah. So close.
So yes, that is actually so from Valladolid to León. We were just basically a couple hours north from where you guys were.
Okay.
So not that far. And so you just on vacation?
Yeah, we were coming back from we did Africa for a couple weeks in the Serengeti safari, and so Spain was just a layover spot, and we stayed in a monastery that was built in 1200 AD, and they turned it into like a resort / winery. So it was just a place to literally wind down a little bit, relax, drink some good wine, and just hang out.
We were
back
in
home.
Cooper, and I got to practice my Spanish. It was a whole thing.
Fantastic. How did you like Tanzania?
Oh, it was incredible. So we started the trip in Rwanda with the gorillas.
Okay.
And then we went to Tanzania and the Serengeti, and we were there for like 10 days, just out in like mobile tents. You would literally, and it was during the Great Migration, so you'd literally hear wildebeest, just herds of wildebeest run by your tent in the middle of the night, and then a couple 100 yards off, hyenas and lions attacking them. And it's like, what is going on? So it was incredible, though. Trip of a lifetime.
We did Tanzania last fall. But we didn't camp. That's my girlfriend's crazy enough. I'm not crazy and adventurous enough to do that. So good for you guys. And then Rwanda and Uganda we haven't, but we definitely planning on seeing the gorillas. Uh,
Oh, incredible as
You
well.
trek up and they're literally, I mean, they will graze you. They'll walk right in front of you being like, excuse me. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is a 700-pound silverback. Like,
Yeah, one of the days we were with a family that had 10 silverbacks and one female. So, of course, they were doing what guys do. They're fighting with each other, banging on their chests, and they're all within like 2 or 3 feet of us. It is as close of an encounter in the wild. In the bush to get up there, I mean, you have guys, your trackers with machetes doing new trails through the bush. So the bush is super thick. It was dope, man. Super
and
epic.
you guys walked that, or do you do the
Yeah.
yeah.
little? Yeah, that might be a bit too intense for me. Clearly, you guys are hardcore. Uh, what about the Antarctica cruise? Have you done that?
No, that's the
Okay.
only continent we haven't done.
The
Have you done
definite,
that?
if you're adventure travelers, it is a definite must do. We camped in Antarctica for one night, which was awful, but the cruise itself and the penguins, definitely worth doing. Uh, so
I
so
love hearing that.
Why was the camping awful? Like, why was the staying in awful? So cold?
you're basically, it's not a tent. It is a large sleeping bag in the snow. And then it snowed all night. So that like it was very stressful because we kept getting covered and covered and covered.
Oh,
Kind of had
no.
to dig ourselves out in the morning. Yes,
Okay, that would be awful.
It was the worst night of my life.
Yeah, yeah,
My
you're,
my
like,
girlfriend
buried
is
alive.
is ridiculously adventurous. She holds a Guinness World Record related to travel, and yeah. I have
What?
learned my lesson, and I don't go with her as much anymore. Because I am not adventurous. So 85 countries myself, 152 her. Um,
Oh my
so
That is
gosh.
yes,
amazing.
yes. Um, yeah,
Okay, so wait, before we get into the
yeah.
insurance stuff, out of 85 countries and 140, however many she has done, what are your favorites?
So for me, South African safari was amazing.
Mm,
Hong Kong was amazing.
Mhm.
Loved the Nordic countries. Iceland was super cool. Um, it's hard because it really is more about the specific trip.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Eastern Europe, we were kind of in between jobs, and we did 6 weeks through Eastern Europe, so that was ridiculously awesome. So those have been some of my favorites. And Renee really likes Africa. Really likes like the remote areas of Africa that I just that I buy out by like that I bow out of. Uh, and But by the way, the world record is for the most countries visited in 1 year while using a wheelchair. So yes, check that out. Instagram, Wheels Travels. There's a children's book about her life that just came out about a month ago. Uh, so yeah, Instagram, Wheels Travels. You'll find all her stuff. I talk about
Okay.
her often on LinkedIn, not so often on the podcast, but yeah.
That's
Uh,
cool.
Go
Thank
Renee.
you. Yeah.
Love
yeah,
that.
she's kind of a force of nature.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
usually we break the ice over the weather, but in this case, this made a lot more sense. So we always give the guest the chance to give the elevator pitch. What is the Weaver Sales Academy?
Yeah. So Weaver Sales Academy, essentially, we built an online sales school for producers. So what we noticed as insurance agents was there was a gap in between what corporate training was giving a producer and actually what you needed to say to close deals on the phone with a customer. So what we did was we built an entire school. We made it curriculum based, and we really focus in on what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. So we
Okay,
have a
so
10-day new hire. Yeah.
hold on. Okay, so when you say the corporate training, I'm assuming that you mean, for example, the Hartford School and those types of like carrier schools where they teach you their product,
Right.
Yep.
but they don't really teach you how to sell it.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
Okay,
exactly
perfect.
right.
So this was created to give you like the actionable what to say to actually close the deals. Okay, so continue. Okay, so it's a full curriculum.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you clarified that too. So, full curriculum. So, we have a 10-day new hire training program. So, we'll walk through how to have a conversation with the customer, everything from the elevator pitch. So if you're calling an internet lead, all the way down through if you want to have a full-blown multi-line sales conversation, what you say, when you say it, how you say it. And then we work through what we're probably best known for is our life insurance curriculum. So we can walk through how to have a full-blown conversation, how to have an in-person appointment conversation, all of that. So what we really focused on was the sales conversations with the producers. We wanted to give agency owners their time back because that was the biggest time suck. Was you're trying to run a business, but you're also trying to train your team. You're trying to train on all of these conversations, the sales conversation, what we need to tweak in that, how they're actually talking to the customers, what they're saying, what words they're using. So that's what we've resolved.
So life focused. Do you do PNC or is it just okay? So
No,
you
so
do
it's really auto fire life. So personal lines,
auto.
agents work with us as auto fire life. So your auto home life, auto renter's life, auto home umbrella. So ultimately, like we work with a lot of independent and captive. So I would say State Farm, Farmers, Allstate, Farm Bureau, American Family, Country Financial are probably the big six in the captive space. And then indies, as you know, they kind of vary. So as long as they're focused on growing their personal lines book of business, we are the go-to trainers for
Okay, so
that.
how to sell personal lines, including life. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So life, that is interesting that you've been successful in the life space. I actually started my insurance career part-time. I had a false start, is a better way to put it. Part-time. Got recruited by one of the big life carriers. They got me licensed and then thrown to the wolves, good luck. And I sold literally nothing. Nothing. It's a miracle. I came back to insurance later and actually enjoyed it. But from all the conversations I have, there's nothing harder than selling life. Because selling PNC is hard, but people have to have it, right? Most PNC is required by the government, by your lender, etc. While life is not required, right? And not only is it not required, life is you're talking about somebody's death, right? Is ultimately what we're talking about. So it's a conversation people don't like to have, right? So nobody buys life insurance. Everybody's sold into life insurance, making it extremely difficult sell. And then further complicate that by the fact that the life insurance that makes the most sense it is for most people is term, and term just you can't, it's very hard to make a living. You'd have to do it at like industrial scale from selling term. So you have to figure out how to sell whole life in or one of its many permutations. Right? When I say whole, in this case, I mean everything that's value building life. All right. So why did you end up focusing on the hardest selling insurance?
Great question. Because that's what carriers are pushing. So that's what agents need to most help out with because financial services. So that's a loaded question, but ultimately to be successful in the insurance industry, just not now, but moving forward, you have to be that one-stop shop for your customers. So PNC, while yes, it is an easier sell, it's also hard because if you sell PNC only off of price, you're going to struggle in the industry, right? So how you sell one thing is how you sell everything. So the one thing we constantly and consistently teach in even PNC sales is you have to have a way to navigate the conversation away from price into what's actually important, what is the consumer looking for. And then when you start looking at retention rates on your PNC business, retention rates increase dramatically when they have a life insurance product with that household. So the average person with most carriers that have an auto fire, so like home renters and life product, are going to be with that provider for anywhere between 8 and 12 years. So life insurance is one of those things that you have to be very comfortable and confident with. And yes, it is an emotional sell, but you have to have the ability to get into those conversations and make it easy and simple on the customer. And I would agree with you, Tony. A lot of customers' needs are that term life insurance product, and they need a lot of it. They need 1 million at a minimum in benefit, to where if something does happen to them, their family doesn't struggle financially. But I'm also a believer that once they have a term product, they then believe in life insurance. Most customers also need permanent life insurance as well within their, like the whole life, the index universal life, things of that nature. So there is room for both. But a lot of customers, like you said, they need that immediate need taken care of. And that's if they don't come home to their family's taken care of financially.
Not only that, that's what the carriers want, but we started our agency in 2014. We started 2 months after we got married. It was the first business that we started together. We decided, let's just go all in. Let's just be newlyweds, buy a house, move, start an agency, get a new puppy. Let's just do all of the things. And one of the things that we learned really quickly, we were in a very small community, very rural Missouri, Midwest town. We saw all of our customers in the grocery store, and we learned quickly that if we didn't properly take care of them and have the conversation that nobody else was having with them about what happens if you don't come home, then we were doing them a disservice. Because I think as insurance professionals, yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can make a lot of money, but you're also going to be the only person that brings up really big questions. And there are other people's family who really are counting on you to have the courage to have these conversations. So yes, it's what the carriers want, but it's also what's best for the customer. Like I think for us, we're all trying to protect risk. We're trying to analyze, if something happens, where's the gaping hole? And I think in a pure financial conversation, you're talking about life insurance. Like that needs to at least have the conversation, ask it, bring it up, assume it, and then let them decide. But most people aren't even given that chance. Most people aren't even given the chance to say, no, I'm good, I have a plan in place. So,
and to be honest with you, after I got into it, because I struggled at first at life insurance, like it was a very price-based sell, like just talked till I was blue in the face trying to convince them. Once I learned how to actually sell life insurance, the right questions to ask to get the customer emotionally involved, I actually think life insurance is an easier sell than P&C, because P&C is so volatile. The rates are always changing. Whereas once you have someone kind of understanding what their life insurance plan is why it's important, why they want this for their family, they never shop that again, like ever. Like they're going to keep that life insurance plan forever.
One of the things that is super super difficult, and I've never sold, right, or at least not successfully. One of the things that I hear all the freaking time, from one of the, when I introduced myself earlier, where before we start recording, where I live in the industry, one of the things that I run is chatwithtony.com, which is free career advice for insurance professionals. And when I get calls from producers, one of the big complaints is that it takes a ton of work to create the relationships that bring in those kind of warm leads. So you end up, and they can take a long time. So you end up buying a lot of leads. Those purchase leads tend to be price driven. So how do you move the conversation away from price? We definitely have to. Otherwise, even if we win, we're going to lose them next year. How do you move the conversation away from price?
Great question. So I actually think that consumers are worried about price because the person they're talking to on the other end of the phone selling them insurance is also focused on price. So 90% of people surveyed say they're willing to pay more for something if they find value in insurance. If they find value in it, insurance is not going to be any different. So one of my favorite questions to ask in that initial conversation. So you got to think a sales conversation is going to be consistent of, okay, you've got your elevator pitch to get the conversation started. Once you get them hooked into having a conversation with you, then it transitions into rapport building. Then it's going to transition into the discovery conversation. So the discovery conversation, I call it the hot button question, fact finding, whatever you want to call it. This is when you're going to ask the customer, hey, besides price, what's got you shopping for insurance? What's important in your insurance plan? For example, you have insurance with us, you get it started, you total out your car tomorrow. What do you expect expect that claims experience to look like? What are you going to expect out of me, your insurance agent? Are you okay with dealing with a 1-800 number all the time? Or are you going to want to deal with somebody in our office that knows you, knows what you want, is checking in on you on a weekly basis? Like, tell me a little bit about what you want that experience to look like. Another really great question. So what I find is people like talking about claims and people like talking about customer service. So hey, besides price, what's important to you with your insurance plan? For example, when it comes to customer service, what do you expect out of me? What do you expect to be able to control online? Do you want to be able to meet with me? If you call in and leave a message, are you okay with getting a call 5 days later? Like, what is the type of customer service that's going to be important to you? These two questions alone, if you implement these in your conversation today, you will automatically have a different conversation than you've been having if you haven't been asking these questions. It goes from price to value just like that. Like, you just ask the question, let them talk.
Are you finding that this type of approach is most helpful kind of in the Midwest, more traditional areas, or are your
That's a really great question. That's a great question, Tony. So obviously we were in the Midwest, go Chiefs. But here we go. When we very first created Weaver Sales Academy, we just didn't scale the product at first. So we tested it with 20 different agents, and you can say from anywhere in middle of Nebraska with a population of 400 people to Long Island, New York with thousands and thousands of people. And we tested it, and over 75% of our customers had the best year they've ever had. Not only the best year, they increased their production by over 300%. So we're like, okay, this is fantastic. COVID hit, we blew up, and we've never stopped since. So we've helped out over 15,000 insurance professionals across the country. It doesn't matter what city, what state. We've had insurance professionals in every single state that's offered from different providers. Again, it does. I already told you the providers we work with. Doesn't matter who you work with. If you're indie, if you're captive, if you're focused on personal lines, people are people, and you have to have conversations that are meaningful, that are fulfilling, that are educational, that are empowering, that are transformational, not transactional. We talk about that all the time, especially with AI entering our industry. It's going to be a major, what we would call grenade in our industry. It's going to change human behavior, buying behavior. But at the end of the day, you as a sales professional control the conversation. You have the ability to master your craft, and you have the ability to have conversations and establish human connection, which most are not doing. And that's what we talk about all the time. That's what we teach. That's what we preach. And that's what I believe you have to do to be successful in the future in insurance sales.
And I think as we continue to evolve at warp speed, I mean, there's so much new stats coming out about different buying behavior of different generations, because we all have a different value system. And as we shift from millennials to Gen Z, the number is actually going up. So I think it's something like 78% of millennials want a relationship with somebody that in the financial space, their financial advisor or their insurance agent. It goes up in the next generation. So 83% of Gen Zs want a relationship with somebody that's dealing with their money and talking about their insurance. They still want to do everything on their phones, but they want the best of both worlds. They still want to be able to call somebody and have a conversation. And I think that's really what we're trying to do in the insurance space, is we're trying to make humans better and then also optimize and automate whatever we can. And that's with our other company, Agency Coach AI, kind of feeding hand in hand in that of like, how do we make humans better, but also how do we automate and really kind of speed up the process of educating ourselves?
Let's dig into the 10-day new hire training program. What does that look like? And then tell me about Agency Coach AI. But yeah, what does that 10-day look like?
Yep, super simple. So we have a 10-day new hire training, and it's mapped out day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, all the way through day 10. And we really emphasize and focus on that new business multi-line sales conversation. So when I say that, that's that auto home, auto renters, auto home life, auto renters life type of conversation to get a brand new sales rep that's never sold insurance, probably never sold anything, extremely confident and comfortable in having that type of conversation. On average, they're able to jump on the phones and have a multi-line sales conversation confident enough to at least overcome one objection and ask for the sell. So now you're asking for the sell 2 times the way we teach by day 7 in that. And so we can really ramp up that onboarding period, which is going to show agents if their new hire is how they're developing, if they're committed to growth, if they're actually doing the training, if they're actually able to implement what they're learning, because that's what's most important. So it gives the agent or the hiring manager a lot of data without them having to put in the time to train 3, 4, 5 hours a day to get them up to doing the same thing we can do in 7 days for them.
Is there a percentage of trainees that don't make it? They're just not cut out for sales?
I don't have that statistic. But
I'm sure
but
there
yes.
is.
So you're always going to hire bad hires. Like that's part of any business owner. Like we all make bad hires. Some people just aren't made for sales. Some people may not be great at sales, but they're great at like the CSR role or account manager role, right? So that's there's a lot of characteristics that you're going to learn about this individual. Even if they go through the training, they're going to develop some skill sets, but maybe the initial role wasn't for them. And on the flip side of this, right, agents hire us for their whole team. What they found is account managers and CSRs that were only responsible for service after they went through this training. Well, now they've been having better conversations with customers and cross-selling deeper into the book of business. So I can't answer your question with that. I can answer the good news. So the good news is an average new hire that goes through our program by day 100, because we have a 100-day built-out training plan for a new hire, is producing 51 items a month, 46 P&C 5 life on average by day 100. So I can give that stat. I don't know which ones don't make it, but I can tell you the average new hire that goes through our training is doing that type of production.
Perfect. And how is the program priced?
Great question. So it is priced as a agent. Really, what we're talking to are typically agency owners that are wanting to delegate their training. So what it is, it's $4,200 that covers a full 12 months. So it covers the entire team. Anybody brand new that you hire is all included in that. So it's just a one-time price. And we do live trainings as well. There's a live training aspect to Weaver Sales Academy. The 10-day new hire is just one small component, by the way, of our on-demand system. We have live trainings every Tuesday where we're doing role play calls for an hour where we're just role playing and coaching. And then we have a dedicated success manager that works with every single agency owner that's checking in on them on an every other week to monthly basis to ensure their success in working with us.
I love that it's priced for the agency.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It just makes it so much easier to plan for and to budget. So that is really fantastic. Tell us about the new Agency Coach AI that, assuming I do get this out on Thursday, August 20, 21, 20, 21st? 21st.
August 21st.
Launched today.
Yeah. So Agency Coach AI, one of the big components of Weaver Sales Academy that we found when you're going through the learning and development phase, a huge part of that is practicing. You have to be able to practice the conversations, actually say the words. So the thing that we found after doing this for 8 years now is a lot of role plays are weird. Like it's weird to have those conversations with another human being, right?
Weird, awkward as shit. Yeah.
You're just like, this isn't a realistic conversation. And a lot of people are like, I don't want to do this in front of another person. There's shame, there's judgment. We want you to get better. So what we really did with Agency Coach AI was we built in the role play component. So you can actually practice insurance specific scenarios with AI, and they will give you real-time feedback. You need to improve in this category. This is actually how the elevator pitch should sound. This is where you're missing in the discovery conversation. This is how you would overcome this objection. This is where you keep getting stuck. So that's one piece of it. The second piece of it is, okay, so we're practicing, but then how do we get better? So we have training videos that will actually go through of like, hey, not only did you miss this, watch this training, and then we can practice this again. The third piece of that is we actually want to be able to listen to the real life conversations that agents and producers are having in their office. And they can actually start picking up on patterns and trends of like, hey, you keep missing this in the conversation, whether it's, quote specific things, like you're missing date of birth and you're missing, the information that we need for a quote, or it's, hey, you keep getting hung up on this internet lead when you're trying to overcome this first objection. Let's practice this role play, and then let's make sure that we keep training on that. And then you get a report every single day as the agent or manager or whoever you want to have set up that really shows what they're doing, like what your team is going through, how they're practicing, how they're improving. What we really wanted to do, again, is we want to make humans better. So we're really trying to focus on, in the learning process and the development process, not only do you read, watch, listen, you actually have to practice and implement, and then we have to see what's being done in real life. So that's what Agency Coach AI is. It's the first and only insurance sales trainer that is AI powered. We want to automate this.
Yeah, it's literally a coach and trainer at your fingertips 24/7 that reports directly to you, the sales manager or agency owner in the office, to where it doesn't matter if, because that was the biggest hang up that all sales organizations, all training organizations have, is we can train you, but there was really no way to give our customers anything that could make sure that they were practicing what they were learning, that they were actually doing what they were learning, that they were implementing on live sales calls. Well, now after thousands of agents asking for it, we finally were able to deliver. And so we're extremely excited about this, because we will feel like this will do a lot of things. This will allow agents to buy their time back. It'll allow agents to create their own unique training software for their own agency. It's going to give their teams a coach and trainer at their fingertips 24/7, to where there's no more excuses around, well, I didn't know what to say, or I didn't practice, or there was no time to practice, or I said this. There's no more question marks. Like, what was actually said on the call? Did you actually ask for the sell? Did you actually do the pivot? It is the ultimate transparency and accountability tool for agency owners that allows their team to be as successful as they want to be. And that is what we're super excited about, because man, if I had a coach at my fingertips 24/7, think about how good you would be, to where you can just ask it questions. It's practicing with you, it's role playing with you, it's coaching you, it's listening to every live sales training call or every live call, coaching you on that call, breaking down the call word for word. So even from a E&O standpoint for agents, like a CYA, now every conversation is going to be documented. Like, in my opinion, this will revolutionize the insurance agency owner's future for the rest of their future. There's nothing like it right now, and we're super pumped and excited about it.
That is fantastic. Is it an add-on to the existing membership, or how will access to it work?
So completely different company, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you don't need to have been trained. Okay.
Nope.
Perfect. So what is the pricing like on that side?
Yeah, great question. So we're still in like our beta phase. So we're making sure that we're still getting a ton of feedback. We want to make sure it's customizable for you. We're actually putting the things in there that you need. So for a limited time, we're doing a small agency force discount here. It's $100 per user. So anyone that you would need per month, you would just have the $100 per user month charge.
And that does both the training and it listens to all the calls.
Everything.
Yeah, man.
Listens to the calls, does the training and the role play.
What is the implementation like? Like how does it plug into our
Simple. So it's going to we've already got the API to integrate into most CRMs and phone systems. So literally when I have a call with somebody, they're ready to sign up, we create their account right then, they get the invite, it plugs right into their CRM, right into their phone system, and they're ready to add users and start rocking and rolling right then. It's literally takes like 10 minutes. It's super simple.
All right. That is a fabulous idea. Absolutely.
Oh, we think, we're excited, man.
Because being in the insurance space, the thing that I always felt like it felt like every day was whack-a-mole. Like I'm trying to solve this problem and I'm trying to solve this problem. And it's like, at the end of the day, I still want to make sure that I'm running a business, but I'm also developing my people. Like I want confident and empowered professionals having conversations with customers. I want people to win in their career. And you just don't have enough time as an agency owner to do all of the things. So this is the thing where it's like, even as a producer, you don't have to go to your agent and say, no matter what kind of agent you have, maybe you're on your own, maybe you're just a producer and you're like, you know what, I want to develop myself. Perfect. Here's a tool that you can actually just plug in and this will help you become a better professional. So super excited.
And you actually brought up a really good point. just because maybe you haven't used Weaver Sales Academy, it has nothing to do with Weaver Sales Academy. So I truly believe we are going to be not only agency owners and their team's best friend, we're going to be people that coach in the industry, their best friend, because now agents actually have the ability to be like, well, I'm paying this coach, but my team's not doing it. Great. Now we have the ability to plug into your system and make sure they're actually doing what you're paying for and what they're learning. And so it's, yeah, man, our whole thing is impact. It always has been. We set out in 2018 when we created Weaver Sales Academy originally, like, how can we create the biggest impact on the insurance industry? Our peers, how can we help them be more confident in what they do daily? I believe that this product is significantly better than any product currently available on the market because it does bring that coach or trainer to your fingertips that the traditional agency owner just doesn't have the six-figure investment to invest in like a human capital sales trainer or manager. And even if you are a successful agent that has that sales manager, this just allows them to do their job better because now every call is documented and summarized for you and sent to you. The training's already built out. You can upload your own training. Like it's going to be epic, man. We're pumped.
Yeah, I definitely haven't heard of, and I've interviewed God knows how many AI companies. It seems it's all I do for the last year, basically, for the last year and a half. Lots are focused on having AI answer the phone.
Yep.
But yeah, I hadn't run into anybody else that's using it to train and coach the sales force. So that is definitely fantastic. Awesome. Very, very, very exciting stuff. Normally I'm asking kind of what's on the pipeline for the rest of the year. In this case, I'm guessing the rest of the year is
this
agency coach AI, baby. Yeah.
Getting agency coach AI out there.
Yeah.
Yep. Getting in his hands as many insurance. We have a huge goal. We have a huge goal of having 10,000 users on our program within 6 months. So huge goal. That's how impactful we believe it's going to be. So that's what we're going to be working on for the next 6 months is just getting it as many hands as possible and
just creating the best experience too, getting feedback from agents, producers, CSRs, like, what do you want to see? What are you struggling with? How can we improve this? That's really what we're about. We want to, it feels like the insurance industry is almost like a decade behind every other industry where they just kind of like, they're slow to evolve and there's so much talent and there's so many people that can really maximize their potential. We're just trying to get the industry to keep up with where we're going. Like, AI and tech is here. It's not like it's coming, it's actually here. So let's really get on board with this and figure out how does it make our jobs easier? How does it make us better? Like, let's leverage that.
Fantastic. Makes sense to me. I'd love to have you back in a year or two. Maybe a
that'd be great.
of clients that have been using the new AI and see how it's changed their lives.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely, Tony. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Before we wrap, where's your next trip? I'd love to hear where you're going next.
So I'm finally home for about a month, which is good. And end of September we are doing Egypt, which we haven't, which is surprising for how Renee has been just about everywhere. And then straight from Egypt we go to Lyon, France, where she is defending her thesis for her doctorate in business administration, and then a couple of days in Switzerland, which she's been to, but I have not been to, and I have a magician friend who lives in Switzerland, so I'm excited to see him in his natural element. But yeah, Egypt is kind of the big touristy part of the trip.
Heck yeah.
I love that. That'll be exciting.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.